If you're thinking about moving to the St. Petersburg, Clearwater area in Florida, the real question I get every single week is what does it actually cost per month to live here? And not the headline price, not the Zillow fantasy number. I'm talking about the real monthly cost that can sometimes surprise people after they buy. That's what we're breaking down today. If you're new here, I'm Alexi. I'm a licensed realtor in the St. Pete Clearwater area, and I help people relocating here figure out where to live and what the true monthly cost looks like before they ever move. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the full cost of living here in 2026, housing, property taxes, insurance, utilities, HOA fees that don't show up in the listing price. And I get people reaching out to me every week after watching these videos to review their budget, compare neighborhoods, or figure out why two homes with the same price have two totally different monthly payments. If that's helpful for you, you can call or text me at the number on the screen or scan the QR code to book a complimentary Zoom call with me. No pressure, no salesy weirdness, just helpful information. All right, let's start with housing because this is where most of our monthly budget lives. Most relocation buyers I work with are shopping somewhere in the $350,000 to $600,000 range, depending on the neighborhood, the home size, how close you want to be to downtown or the water. Zooming out to the market, the median sale price in St. Pete recently has been in the mid $400,000 range, just to give you an idea. So what that translates to in terms of your monthly cost, if you're financing at today's rate of 6.1%, assuming a 10% down payment, for a $400,000 home, you're looking at $2,200 a month for your loan payment with interest. And for a $600,000 loan, that's gonna be around $3,300 a month. Moving on, let's talk property taxes. You always hear that Florida is known for having friendly property tax laws, but what does that really mean for you? If this is your primary residence, you can qualify for Florida's homestead exemption, which removes up to $50,000 off of your assessed value, meaning that instead of paying taxes on the full amount, you only pay taxes on the assessed value once they have removed that $50,000 from it. Then there's the long-term benefit that people love, which is that Florida has the Save Our Homes cap, which limits how fast your assessed value can increase each year to a maximum of 3% per year, which helps keep your tax bill from increasing dramatically over time and adds in predictability. Now let's talk about what taxes might look like in reality and look at a simple planning approach for many buyers, which is if you're trying to ballpark a monthly number, plan for something like 1.75 to 2% of the initial purchase price as your yearly property tax bill for year one. So for a $400,000 home, you're looking at around $600 a month. And for a $600,000 home, it's gonna be around $900 a month. And again, thanks to Florida tax laws, that number goes up very slowly over time, much slower than the appreciation you'll see on your property, which means that over time, on average, the effective tax rate is only about 1% of your home's value. So property taxes here usually aren't the budget breaker that people fear, especially compared to where many relocation buyers are coming from. Now let's talk about the one category that surprises people the most, which is insurance. This is also the category with the widest range because insurance in Florida is not one number based on something like the home's price, which is confusing to some people. Your homeowner's insurance cost depends on the home's elevation, distance to the water, claims history in the area, construction type, age of the roof, and so on. So two homes 1 mile apart can have very different premiums. So what do I tell buyers to do? Honestly, since the range here is so wide and property dependent, the best thing to do is to get a quote for the specific property you're looking at, which I can have done very quickly for you. But if you want a quick and easy number with a huge disclaimer attached to it that numbers can wildly vary, I would defer to the Florida Office of Insurance Regulation, which stated that the average homeowner's insurance premium for Pinellas County in 2025 was $3,902 a year. So on a monthly basis, that's around $325 a month. Now that's for regular homeowners insurance, but you may also have to factor in flood insurance. If you're buying in a FEMA flood zone and you have a mortgage, flood insurance will be required. Again, huge disclaimer here. This is gonna be different depending on which home you're looking at. based on things like elevation, claims history, replacement costs, etc. But for the sake of this video, I'll turn to an example that FEMA's community rating system gives of a yearly premium of around $2,500, which translates to about $208 a month. I will say that anecdotally, this is in line with what I've seen in the past, ranging from $1,500 to $3,500 on homes in the $400,000 to $600,000 price range. But again, the best thing to do is to run a quote with an insurance professional that can get you the real number for the home you're looking at. So all this might sound frightening to some, but here's the good news. If you plan insurance up front, it's manageable. The problem happens when people don't look at insurance until after they're under contract, and then the quote comes back and it changes the whole payment. This is one of the biggest things that I help relocation buyers model early so that there are no surprises later on. All right, let's quickly talk about the cost of utilities in the St. Pete area, which are pretty reasonable for a coastal city when compared to national averages. The average monthly electric bill has been reported at around $150 statewide. Your water bill here is gonna land somewhere around $150 to $250 per month, depending on usage and household size. So let's call that around $200 a month to average it out. And internet here is gonna cost you about $45 a month. Moving on to the final section, it's important to talk about HOA fees because this is where people get fooled by a listing that looks affordable until the monthly fee kicks in. So condos and townhomes often have monthly fees that cover things like exterior, maintenance, insurance, amenities like pools, gyms, security, elevators. Oftentimes they'll have water, sewer, and trash and cable included. And finally, reserves for repairs if the HOA is being held responsibly, of course. On average in the St. Pete area, the median monthly HOA fee is $614 a month, which isn't completely unreasonable when you think about everything that's included with it. But there are a few things you'll want to look out for. The key is understanding what you're getting for the fee and whether it replaces costs you would otherwise pay for yourself. So here's a quick checklist I like buyers to run. Is the condo building 3 stories or higher? Because newer condo regulations are more strict on these buildings, which can translate to a higher HOA fee. Does the fee include building insurance? Does it include water, sewer, and trash? Are there healthy reserves? And are there any major repairs or special assessments planned? These are all questions I help buyers answer when they're looking at HOA properties because sometimes the cheap condo isn't cheap, it is just creatively marketed. So when people ask me, is St. Petersburg affordable? The honest answer is it depends how you look at it, where you're moving from, and how well you plan your move. So for the most part, living costs here are about in the middle when you compare to national averages. So if you're coming from an expensive metro in California or New York, it will feel cheaper here. And if you're coming from somewhere lower cost, it can feel more expensive. The way I look at it is that for a coastal city with so much to offer in terms of quality of life and a lifestyle that is very tough to beat, it is nice to pay only average prices. And when you understand the true monthly cost, not just the purchase price, most buyers feel more confident about their move. So here's what I recommend. Before you move, get your monthly number dialed in using the 5 big categories: mortgage, taxes, insurance, utilities, and HOA. And if you're relocating and you want help stress testing your monthly number, comparing neighborhoods, or figuring out what actually fits your budget, my direct number is on the screen. You can scan the QR code to book a Zoom call with me, and all my contact info is in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.